Have you ever walked down to your basement, came and looked at all your potatoes, and they look like this? Or even worse, they look like this. Today we're gonna do something a little controversial. We're gonna plant this whole thing in a bag. And we're doing it 5 weeks before our last frost date. Stay tuned. We'll show you exactly how I'm gonna do this.
So the first thing we have to do here is get our soil up to date. You notice I'm recycling my soil here. I'm basically just dumping the grow bags onto the tarp, and we are going to be adding some fertilizers in there, some various fertilizers like chicken poo and some other fertilizers that are going to boost the potassium and the phosphate, maybe not so much the nitrogen this year. And also I am adding a bunch of vermiculite to help out with moisture control in the soil and also to give the soil a little bit more fluffiness. Perlite will be put in there as well. This will really help out with the grow bags, I believe. I believe that last year I had some compaction that led to some problems in the soil. So that's the first thing that we got to do before we get anything going here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put about 4 or 5 inches of the potting mix or the loose soil that I've had here. You see how loose it is, how well it is. So yeah, we're going to get that done. And then after we get that done, we're going to place our potatoes into the bag. So once we got all the soil in the bag, the potatoes go in. You can see from my box, these are greatly neglected potatoes. I do have some with some good looking eyes on them, and I have some with very, very, very long eyes on them. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to alternate, keep some with the good looking eyes in there, and then pull out some with the longer eyes. You'll notice whenever I'm doing this, I'm taking the longer eyes and I'm just kind of planting them just below the surface. And I'm also planting whole potatoes here. These potatoes are just going to be providing nutrients to the whole plant there. So what we want is we want to have that whole potato there to give them enough sugar starches to poke through the soil so that way they can grab the sunlight, and once they get the sunlight then they can start using those nutrients to keep going and going and going. That's the whole point of this. We're trying to curve them all around, also to make sure that we got stems that get roots that get pushed down from those stems all the way into the grow bags. That's kind of my philosophy of doing this whole thing and having these all twisted up in there. If I snap the eyes off of these, the potato has to start from 0. So I'm trying to gently coil the sprout around the edge, kind of like a spring. I'm going to cover the base of the sprout, but leave just that tiny tip peeking out or just barely underneath the surface. So I know that you're supposed to not plant the whole potato, and I know 3 is probably too many for each bag, but hey, here's my theory. These potatoes are stressed. By keeping them whole, I'm giving them every little bit of starch there and sugar. All this to establish roots. And once they get those roots established, poke out of the grow bag, then we'll be fine. All right, guys, the next thing we have to talk about, we are 5 weeks away from our last frost date. What does this mean for potatoes? Well, the tubers of the potatoes are definitely going to be frost hardy. They're going to actually be in the bags, insulated by that soil, so they should be okay. Now, the little shoots that shoot up, they are going to probably have some little bit of frost damage to them once it gets about below 28 degrees or so. So they can handle a slight frost. They'll definitely have some damage. They're a little bit tender in that area, but I believe we'll be able to have some good starts with the roots and everything else by getting these out. I believe that we're going to be encouraged to get these guys out earlier than later. That way the summer heat doesn't get to them. Like I said, this is all kind of going to be an experiment. It's all going to kind of be one of those things. We're just going to be testing things out to see how things work so that way you guys can plan appropriately. Now, in the past, what I have done with potatoes is I've typically gotten them out on Good Friday, the Friday before Easter Sunday. I typically did that just because that's what we've always done in the past. Now, I hate doing that. I hate those words because that's what we've always done. So we're going to try to get away from that. I know that's kind of a long-standing tradition with people, especially with people of faith. But this year, I'm just going to try some experiments early, and then I'm going to try to do what I did last year as well with some potatoes. I'm going to hopefully try to get some in one of my raised beds, but we'll see. So, if you guys got your fingernails dirty, join that dirty fingernail gang. You guys leave me a comment down below. What do you think this is gonna be? You think this is gonna be a big old blow up disaster, or you think this is gonna be something that's gonna be like, interesting. We'll have to try it. The way I look at it is, I'm just out time. But then again, it gave me good content for this video. So, I mean, all those potatoes that were sitting in that box probably would have been ruined anyways. So why not just go out there and plant them in the grow bags? If it's 5 weeks and there's nothing there, I'll go buy some more potatoes, seed potatoes, and plant them in those grow bags. So we will see. Leave me a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already done so. There's evidently a new feature called hyping a video. If you can hype the video, I really appreciate it. It really helps out the channel, gets this lovely information out to more people. As I said, always give me that thumbs up or that thumbs down if you don't like this. Cheers, everybody. God bless.